This is Josh for WashingtonHotlist.com. Rudolph Giuliani is running for the President of the United States, and he made a few comments today while I was making a campaign appearance in Albany, and I really think his theme that he's running for president is really just weak, and all he really has is 9/11. People seem to forget that the first few years, his first 7 3/4 years as mayor of New York City was pretty marred. I mean, there was a lot of focus on his personal life, and there's been a lot of focus after it on some of the picks he made to run his city. Bernard Kerik has had a lot of problems with mafia ties, and some of the clients that Giuliani has worked with has had different ties to Hugo Chavez and all over the place, just different problems. He had to drop out of his Senate race with Senator Clinton because he had some health problems, and then all of a sudden, voila, 9/11 comes along, and now, boom, Rudy wants to extend his mayoral term, which I'm glad he didn't do. Then he runs for president, all he talks about is 9/11. And his big theme, and I've heard this from a lot of Republicans, and it's just really weak, said that you can't elect a Democrat because if you do, we're more likely to get attacked again. Let's just think about how ludicrous that is, okay? First of all, you're just insulting a majority of the American people who just voted to have a majority of both houses in Congress Democrats already last year. So much for your respect for the American people's will. And also, let's remember in 2001, who was President of the United States? A Republican. Who was the governor of the state of New York? A Republican. Who was the mayor of the city of New York? A Republican. So if we got attacked when Republicans were running all the key offices, why is it more likely that when a Democrat gets elected, we're more likely to be attacked again? It's just awful logic. And then Giuliani goes on to say, well, we shouldn't have a timetable because then the enemies, well, I've heard this a lot from the president, we shouldn't have a timetable because the enemies are just going to wait us out and then just attack from there. And they say that Democrats don't really understand, how to fight war. We've never done that before in our history. Well, I thought the president says all the time that this is a different war and we can't fight it the way that we've done it all the time. And maybe we haven't done it in our history before. We haven't fought this type of war. I mean, when in the history of our country have we ever endorsed torture? When in the history of our country have we ever wiretapped the records of Americans without warrants? I mean, if we're going to do things we've never done before anyway, then why not continue it? Why does it all have to revert back to what we always did? I mean, if there's anyone who's perfected the art of what we've never done before during wartime, it's Republicans. So, Rudy, sorry, but your arguments are weak. You have no chance anyway. You're a pro-choice Republican and a party that's dominated by religious Christian conservatives. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take for you to give it up already. He says you can win in the blue states. Well, good luck with that one, okay? So this is Josh for WashingtonHotlist.com.